Okay, I think we're live now. What's going on, y'all? It's good to see everybody tonight. We got a little bit of a discussion to talk about. Kind of spawns from the video that we started or we posted last night. So if you didn't have a chance to check out our video that we uploaded, it was kind of, you know, I'm getting kind of used to the whole Saturday upload. It gives me a little time to actually make a decent video for the most part. But you know, some of the stuff that we talked about in that video yesterday is kind of what gave me the idea for today's conversation. But yeah, we'll let a couple people get in here real quick. What's up, Super Dave? Good to see you, brother. Broken Tool, how we doing? What's going on, Del Galagos? Love the channel. Appreciate you watching, man. Appreciate you watching. So we got a conversation tonight. The topic of the evening is going to be top mods that you guys all know, and I'm 100% guilty of this many, many times over. But there's definitely some cool ass mods out there that, you know, like I said, we did the video yesterday with the axle, and it kind of what spawned the idea for this video today. We haven't done really a good like info / bullshit live stream where we're just, you know, talking some foxbody shit outside of maybe learning some stuff, maybe something that could help you with if you're, you know, had a number of people comment and send me messages on like, you know, they're going to be following my axle build closely because that's pretty much where they're at, you know, with their build or whatever. But, you know, I'm not saying that what I'm doing with my axle is the end all and the go-to, because there's a lot of really good gurus out there that know a lot more about axles than I do. But we've done pretty good so far on the channel with what we've got and what we've built. And I feel if I can kind of help somebody out, then it's a win. What's up, Matt Wright? Bradley, how we doing? Pimp, good to see you guys. KP, what up, Vance Cooper? He got a stick. So you don't see a whole lot of like actual like stick shift GM cars. And I guess Vance has got a pretty fast little Cadillac, like stick shift Cadillac. So it's going to be interesting to watch that car go down the track next time I get a chance to get out and watch. He was going to join us for the Elite 8 and fill in for a spot that was open. But, you know, next time he'll definitely be in on one of the Elite series that we got going on this year, and hopefully we can get some more 8-second cars in the mix. So what's up, Jesse Workman? Good, big shout out to the guys in green, to my subscribers, or my members of the channel. Those guys help me make decisions on the channel. We talk a lot of shit during the week, and I show them some. They got some upcoming information on one of the junkyard videos we're going to be doing this week. It's a shame, ain't it? It's a shame to see two of them. But yeah, I appreciate those guys month after month for being part of the channel, and a lot of them join our live stream here, like pretty much every Sunday or whatever. But big thanks to Handler Motorsports, Team Z, Tremick, McLeod, Stiflers, Anderson Ford Motorsports. Appreciate all the sponsors on the channel who help make this shit, you know, work for us, and specifically my subscribers for watching me talk my foxbody shit every week. So Lamar, speaking of which, we are actually going to be seeing Lamar this weekend. Lamar's been part of the channel and a membership for a long time. We built him a motor. I talked about it last week, so I'm going to be pretty excited. We're going to bring a little bit of footage of that. He finally gets to get his engine home, and we're going to meet in Columbus, where I think I'm going to race. I'm not really sure if I'm going to race or not, but the main concern is to get Lamar his engine. It's been too long. It's been sitting in an engine bag for about 3 or 4 months, 5 months, and it's high tide that we get that to him. And we were trying to get it to him at Bowling Green last year, and that didn't end up happening. So we just went through the whole motor over the winter, and it's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be awesome. I think he's going to have a good time. It's going to be a badass motor, Lamar. You're going to have a good time. I'm telling you, we went through that thing. You know, every nut and bolt in that thing, you're going to enjoy it. I don't want to pull my axle out, so I'll be going with the CHE bracing parts, bolt in, but I'll tack weld the tubes. Okay, so let's talk about yesterday's video real quick. Now that Pimp was talking about it, we went through a, for those guys that didn't get a chance to watch it, we cracked open one of our old, one of the axle that came out of the box. Anyways, we took apart, we actually took we put the 355 axle that was kind of bent back in so we could do our dyno video. And it, so we can compare apples to apples, because dyno will change gear ratio in the axle will slightly change your dyno result. And I didn't want that to happen. So we got into the axle pretty deep. It's a good video. And, you know, I took the spool out, which, to be honest with you, I've been driving around on spools for years on the street. They're not a problem, but you guys know we peeled back the black car a little bit to do more street stuff. And, you know, having a, you know, spool in the street's not a problem, but, you know, I kind of wanted to enjoy, you know, being able to turn a corner without my car trying to stall. I don't know if you have a spool in your ride when you know, the shit you guys drive around with, but yeah, I tell you, it's, if you have a spool, you know what I'm talking about. So that's why I put that little clip in the beginning where you can hear the, hold on a second. Can you guys hear me? What in the hell? I can't, you know what? I don't know what's going on with my sound. I can't hear my sound. Anyway, not that I need to hear it. Moving on. So, you know, the spool definitely was kind of one of the mods that we were racing a black car. I mean, we got as fast as, we went 952 at 147 with that car, but it got to the point to where that car was legitimately just too damn unsafe. And that's going to be kind of one of the things that we talk about tonight. You know, I'm going to race this board over here in a second, and we'll get it kind of lined up behind us or whatever. But yeah, let me go back and check out some of these comments. You guys, if you got something you want to ask me foxbody shit in the chat, just hit me up in the chat, and I'll try to get to it as best I can. I might miss it, but I'm trying my best. What's going on, Bama? It's good to see you, brother. What's up, Carlos? Yeah, so I want to make a shout to the you know, to the ladies of the channel that actually, you know, that watch us, that take the time to watch us, and you know, happy Mother's Day if that applies. So, by the way, I love this song for a foxbody view. There's a dude out there with a black GT who made a video years ago and used this song. It just stuck with me. What song? Any benefit from going single shock from quad shocks? I need all 4 replaced. The mechanics think you got to get away from the 2 with a conversion kit. You're talking about rear axle, right? Like, he's trying. What's he trying to tell you to do in the rear axle? He's trying to tell you to get rid of the quad shocks, or ain't nothing wrong. If you run a bigger tire, just flip the quad shock. Like, a lot of people like, oh, I don't want to take my quad shock off. Okay, well, if you want to run a fatter tire in the back, then you're going to have to, or you can flip it. Like, I don't know if a lot of you guys know that, but if you're going to keep your quad shock, just flip it around so it clears the tire. Lined up against my son's full bolt-on Coyote earlier, was on him about a half a car and broke my clutch. That's what I'm talking about. So how many of y'all, you know, speaking of which, lining up against people, how many of y'all want to see me and cousin Paul go at it with Dad's car? You know, we line up, go at it, you know, Dad's car versus black car. I think they both run the same, because I know Dad's car 7 pounds boost from 1160s, 8 pounds boost from about 1160s. We won't be on slicks, so we ain't stupid. That would be cool as hell. And then maybe Sandy against cousin Fred's car, because they're pretty much, their AOD cars are pretty cool. Drag radios with a spool and front runners can be all sorts of interesting. Well, that's where we're kind of headed with that coupe that we got. What's up, Gabe Large? Good to see you. I got your banner in the mail. I sent Jim Hiltz, and Brandon Gibbons. Those 3 banners went out. Vance Cooper's banner that won. We're gonna just leave it in the trailer, save myself $10 for next time I see him. What's up, Frank Three Stands? Good to see you, bro. The line that the power overpowers the chassis is very tricky. That's correct. Sandy's car needs. She don't want to go faster than 1390s because she don't want to put a damn helmet on. Let's be real. I said what I says. What's going on, Andrew? Good to see you, bro. Big sponsor on the channel, Handle Motorsports, stick shift shit. Let's see. I try to line up with everything that is willing and no shame is losing. Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit about losing. I don't ever care. You know, people get mad about losing. It's just, you know, it's part of the game. You get humbled once in a while, and you just go home and get better. You know, you don't cry about it. You just build your shit and get faster. Either you get faster, or just don't do it. You know, it is what it is. Okay, so some of the mods. Let me set this shit up. I got my car all cleaned up. They had some pollen on it, I swear. There was just pollen all over my car. All over the coop too. So we do have one more Tremec banner that we're going to be giving away tonight. But we got about 13 more. I think Hanlon said, but we got about 13 more for that Tremec's going to send us when I meet up with them. I think this thing's falling apart, bro. I don't know. Yeah. I've really done a good working live stream in a while. Question: Can car runs can hear? Hold on a second. Car runs, I can hear 225 wobble, turn on and run, but no pressure. Bad regulator? No, your wiring's probably backwards. All right, look. I'm not telling you to go into your car and reverse the polarity of your fuel pump, but I have reversed the polarity. If you have the polarity wrong on your fuel pump, it'll turn on and not pressure on. Serious. I'm dead serious. So in the past, we have had, like, I think dad's car's reversed. Couldn't figure it out. Couldn't figure it out for like an hour. We were sitting there, and me and cousin Paul were just scratching our heads, like, well, yeah, I don't understand why this thing is not working. Like, as far as dad's car was concerned, and then we had a I think it's got a 340 in it now. But the point of the matter is I couldn't figure out why 355 wouldn't work. So you could hear the pump turn on, but there was no pressure. Ended up reversing the polarity, and voila. So you know what I mean by reverse the polarity. Spool with no power steering on the street with a 44. Yeah, that could be a damn boat. You'd be swimming. Let me catch back up. Machine shop that messed up my 3-bar heads couldn't fix it and find another head, so he's buying me a set of Pro Max 180s. Have you ever used them before? No, they'll work. They'll work. Has Termex Neo. Has Termex Neo. What's that mean? Or the rubber hose in a tank is busted. That's correct. That's correct. But I'm telling you, it's either the rubber hose or your wiring is not cooked. And it's just not pumping. You know what I'm saying? It's on, but you know, it's like a fan. Like fan, it's just blowing, you know, blowing backwards or running backwards or whatever you want to call it. You know? All right. Let me catch up here. What's your opinion on aluminum eBay heads? You get what you pay for. It depends on what your goals are. You know what I mean? If you're trying to make 1,000 wheel, I probably would buy a good quality cylinder head, aka Club, AFR. There's a number of them out there. I mean, those are just shelf stuff. I mean, you could get into some serious, like some serious money, but it just depends on what your goals are. If you're just looking for a street strip car, you're just looking to make 300 wheel or some shit. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can run some Flowtex or run some Pro Maxes, a stock bottom end, a normal stock bottom end build, or just one that hasn't been touched. Uh, Stock crank, stock piston, stock prop, whatever. If you're gonna put, guys, if you're gonna put like and then we'll get right into it right now. Some of the top mods that should happen that we always end up doing last. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today, right? So, hang on. Pretty much this shit right here. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Top 5 mods. Now, right off the bat, guy asked me, would aluminum heads work pretty well from eBay? It depends on your goals, right? So, one of the mods that we often forget outside of the cylinder. So, say you're doing a cylinder head swap, okay? You're doing an intake swap, okay? Cam stock. A lot of folks go with HCI, right? Heads, cam, intake. It's what we've been doing since the 80s or 90s, whatever. We've been doing it forever. On a stock bottom end 302, which is the majority of the Fox bodies out there, there's a mod that you should be one of your very first things that you buy is a harmonic balancer. Now, I know there's going to be a handful of other mods that we talk about, and you guys could go ahead and populate my chat with some of the mods that you think, but we're going to break this up into 2 categories. 1, engine and driveline, and 2, restoration. And the reason why I say restoration is because it has nothing to do with horsepower. It might have something to do with handling or suspension, but it has nothing to do with actual driveline. We're talking axle, trans, engine. So we're gonna kind of go on a tangent with that shit, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit. But probably as far as the engine mods are concerned, one of the biggest mods, especially on a stock shit, I don't care if it's wood. We're talking push rod stuff. Now, Coyote stuff is already zero anyways, but the harmonics in a motor and the balancer, like legit, if you can get your car or your engine build to be a zero balance, that's honestly that's where that shit's at. When people are building stock, if you got a stock bottom end 302 HO motor that you're happy with, that you're running with it, you want to get a little more horsepower out of it, change the damn balancer. Get you an all steel balancer and be done with it. Harmonics kill motor, period. They will shake that motor until it splits in half, and it'll shake those main caps. And it's funny because they'll just get all kind of main, cap walk and vibration throughout the motor. Guys, stock 302 motors are 50-ounce imbalances, front and rear. That means it's got literally 3 pounds of weight whipping around, keeping the motor in balance. You start getting into the RPMs and horsepower, you're gonna break some shit. I mean, I got 2 split blocks back here I can show you. They both broke at the second main. That doesn't mean that it split because of the horsepower. It's probably just split because of the harmonics. But probably one of the number 1 mods, at least engine wise, that's often overlooked and never changed is the balancer. Get you a good quality all steel balancer, whether it's a fluid dampener or ATI. Well, I think it's the same thing. I always use Trick Flow. I've never had a problem with Trick Flow. Hell, you can get a little cheaper one. It's fine. But that especially in 2024, I don't give a damn if your 302 is running really good right now. Like, hey man, my 302 is running really good. I'm not going to bother with the balancer. There's rubber ring inside the balancer, and I'll stop talking about it. But there's a rubber ring inside the balancer that's rotting like tires. Like if you drive around on 30-year-old tires, even if they still had air in them, see my point? So we're gonna start with that one. Balance. Shit. I gotta take this damn thing down. My bad. Let me go back to none. Okay, better. Mine busted in the tank. Term X. What's your opinion on trying to catch up? 1,000 wheel equals boost. Yes. That balancer will break your block. You're 100% correct. The balancer is probably one of the. We're talking. Now I'm gonna split this down the middle. I'm gonna do restoration over here because some people don't need. They've already done this engine stuff. So I think balancer on the engine is something that's literally some of the mods that people do last. It should be like your first one. If you're actually going to do an engine, a 351 or 302 push rod 289, I don't give a damn what it is. If it zero balance your motor, like I'm going to put zero balance here underneath, okay? Because I'm not going to add a second category. If you can buy or if you can pay a machinist, like a stock bottom end probably won't zero balance out. Like you'll have to take away so much and add so much Mallory here and there and whatever. I think it's pretty. I think Gabe Large, didn't you try to zero balance a stock crank and a stock bottom end recently and it were unsuccessful? Didn't you say the best you could get it was 28 ounce? I mean, chime in if you're listening. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he tried and it failed. So not for the lack of trying, but just it's almost impossible. Let me see. I mean, I'm sure people have done it. God only knows how much Mallory in it, but I don't know if I would have done that. I mean, there's zero balance crankshafts out there. If you're getting ready to buy an engine or let's call it a stroker, 331, 327, 347. I don't give a damn what it is. Say you got a production 325. Main girdle, okay, zero balance, internally balanced, rotating assembly. Be done with it. Will your production block last? Probably. Lasts a lot better than you think it will. Because with the aluminum, like I like the DSS one, with the aluminum, the actual aluminum takes a lot of vibration out of the motor. I don't know if you guys do that or not. There's something to be said, but I run steel ones at 408 and it's fine. It doesn't really matter. A good quality, uh, engine girdle and a zero balance rotating assembly and a push rod motor lasts forever. I said what I said. The the rubber is terrible about pushing. Yeah. So if you have, I'm doing this for you right now. If you have a Fox body, okay, that you're actively spending money on and upgrading or whatever, and there's something, and the balancer isn't one that you have done yet, pull it off. Like you can literally take your balancer off and put a new one on and torque it in, and you don't mess with any of the timing or the way your engine would probably run faster, or excuse me, would probably run a little bit better. It wouldn't, if you got a little bit of vibration going on, you probably feel it in the damn balancer for sure. Timing gears and chain for sure. Yeah, so timing gears and chain should be replaced. If you're going to do a rotating assembly, if you pay the extra damn money for a zero balance, like got a stock 302, got it at the machine shop. How many times you heard that? How many times you done that? I'm going back and forth on what I should do. Hell, it's a 351, same thing. Going back and forth on what I should do. Whatever you buy, zero balance. Spend the extra money for the zero balance. And if you can get the money for the forged crank, fine. If not, whatever. I'm pretty sure forged cranks are pretty much like I did the zero for the 387, and they didn't even make it in the cast steel or whatever. I don't know. Anytime you do aftermarket rods and pistons, it needs to be balanced with the crank. That's correct. So even if you zero balance, even if you buy the zero balance rotating assembly, it should still be looked at. Like let the machinist put it on the balancing machine to make sure it's correct. What's your opinion on main cap girdle for 351 Windsor? Yes. So our 18,000 crank, I think we went. I think the most we ever got out of the 408 was like 879, 1100 wheel. And it's a production 351 that we're putting back together. And that was the third time that we boosted the block, second time. This will be the third time. So the block is still in really good condition. Like we're considering, everything. I mean, I did a whole video on it, the oil pan and the crank right here in the corner. The whole block, everything's over at Dave's over at Dalk Racing Engines right now, which is the mad scientist, with the Dalk Racing Engine. But the point I'm trying to make is, that's a zero balance. That had I don't even remember what girdle was on that. It was a steel one though. It did it, a girdle. I mean, 351 doesn't necessarily need it because it's got big black, big block mains, and they, it doesn't have a lot of walking. But whatever you can do to take vibration out of your block, definitely, especially in your main caps, definitely worth it in my opinion. Best bang for buck aftermarket pistons that can handle nitrous. Speed Pro, that'd be fun. If your tune's right, if your timing's right, you'll be fine on pretty much anything. But I would run forged regardless. Hell, the stock ones are good. Shit, we went nitrous on stock ones for years. The main girdle supports the takes the vibrate. It basically kind of supports all the main caps to work. It kind of holds them all down. It takes the vibration. It helps against cap walk, all the load on the crankshaft. So, next word. Let me catch up. Yes, I tried to zero balance rotating assembly and was asking for around 7 slugs. Yeah, that would cost you $1,000. That's not worth it. Treetop Tom, man, what up, dude? I haven't seen you in a little while, bro. Chat, I broke down and I'm rebuilding my 302. Dan, I'll send you some pictures. Did new bearings and cam and all, and flip the pistons. Hell yeah. Listen, so what he's talking about is I actually flipped pistons in my stock block 302. And we did a whole video on it. I don't know. It's been myth busted of not working, but I know it's good for 10 or 20 horsepower. Maybe even if it was worth 10, whatever. Basically, all it does is take the piston and I take the number 1 cylinder and flip it over to number 5, and back and forth. I'll flip like the pistons. So basically, the arrows are pointing backwards. Cool. Kind of sticks the piston up in the hole a little bit. Kind of changes the rod angle. Does that make sense? I've been doing it for years. It's in my dad's car like that right now. Proper way to set fuel pressure regulator. Take the vacuum off. Yeah, you gotta have a gauge, right? Or you talking like stock, but you have to adjust it. So like an adjustable one with a gauge on it. Vacuum off, key on. Let's see what he's. So give me another one. I just ordered my TKX trans from Handle Motorsports, got the whole kit and did the conversion back to manual. I'm going from a TH400 to a manual. Will I need to get another tune or should I be tuned transmission? I'll tell you what though, your shift points are going to be a little bit. So I don't know if you got your stuff boost by gear or whatever, you're going to have to do that. But I mean, if it's boost by RPM, it'll be fine. What's up, Shelby? Good to see you, brother. What do you say? Plus, not sure it could physically be done. Yeah, that's a lot of Mallory. Mallory's not cheap for labor. I mean, to try to get a production crank to do zero balance, why would it be even worth it? Yeah, there's some people who enjoy making videos about busting the flip piston thing, particularly Uncle Tony's garage, and how he is wrong. I don't really know. I mean, I've been flipping pistons. I don't know how changing rod angle and making I think it ups the compression a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you, because if you look at, I'll talk about this just for a second. On to the next one. Give me another one here. Give me another one on the drive. What's one of those overload bullshit that nobody ever does? We get so stuck on. To be honest with you guys, we get so stuck on trying to go fast and you know trying to make all this horsepower. There's a lot of supporting mods that you don't even, mix it. So I got a piston right here. I'll finish the conversation with the piston. If you look at this piston, this is an extra one that we have. This is a foxbody TRW, Ford TRW one. Now, if you look at this piston, it's offset. Let's see if I can get this right. You can kind of see it, right? Maybe. See how it's offset? One side, I'm talking about center of the pin here. See? Let me teach you. Hold on. This is what we're talking about by pistons. That's terrible. We're talking center of the pin. And I know you guys aren't. Some of you guys aren't machinists, but see the area that I have in my arrow. See it? One side's larger than the other. Basically, this stock piston came from the factory with the 60 thousandths offset, and they did that for cold weather starting. That's what I was told. Cold weather starting, and so it didn't piston against. This is a factory forged piston, so there's probably 4.5 thousandths piston to wall clearance. So if it's cold out, your engine's cold, there may be a little bit of piston slap if this rod was center pin, but it's not. So what I do is I take this rod, like this is number 5. This would be in number 1's hole. Instead of the pin or the dot facing forward, it would be facing towards the back of the block. And it sets the chamfers on the. You can just take the piston and flip it to the other hole. Now, do I suggest you to do that? Well, you don't know what you're doing. Probably not. And probably every other machinist would probably think you're crazy. But I built probably 3 or 4 of those motors, and all of them are fine. Maybe a little bit more, maybe it's not, whatever. So it's considerable. So I think what actually happens in my theory is it changes the rod angle. And it's good for a little bit of compression. Whatever. We deck the blocks. We flip the pistons. We put that shit right at 0. I put my 387 at 0. I appreciate that. Nice burnout in the picture, man. All right, so give me another one. Balancer. Number 1. I mean, that's a really good one. So in the Driveline. Obviously, we just talked about the axle part. I think welding the axle tubes. Obviously, I just did a video about it. So weld axle brakes. That mod doesn't even really cost you much money. Guys, you can twist your axle, bend it, ruin the tubes on a stock car doing burnouts and Brodies. Guys, you know damn well. Talk to me. You know damn well. We out here doing burnouts. Come on. Come on. I love burnouts and Brodies, and I'm going to continue to do them all year in my black car with different mufflers. I don't give a damn what people say. They're like, oh, you can do a burnout without holding the brake, blah, blah, blah. I can do that. That's not a problem, but that would be kind of hard to film. Trying to film and shit. So we're going to put a little brake. We're going to put a little water down. I'm going to make that. Oh. Anyway. That's a mod that really needs to happen. Guys, we just dealt with it. If I was to show you my black car's original axle, you see it in the video, but to see it in person, it's like, damn. So we're not even going to bother. Like, we're not even going to bother with that axle. We're not trying to fix it. We're not trying to do none of that shit. We got a couple extra axles that we've actually dug out that are good core axles that we're going to take over to McBride Racing. We got a little deal with that going on where we're going to do some welding on the tubes, and Team Z, which they just sent me a second one of these, because we're going to build 2 axles at the same time. This is a TNC. So this is a TNC brace. Basically, like right where your lower control arm box is, it basically goes right here, and it underneath a little tab here that welds to the top and whatever. This right here is a badass piece. It will weld to your tube. It will weld to your where your lower control arm is, unless you're running coilovers, right? That's a little bit different, but definitely, I mean, it's like 120 bucks. If you're getting ready to build an 8.8 axle, man, just buy the damn thing. Buy this. I mean, I think there's other companies that make stuff like this too, but Team Z is who we use. And they also have a bracing front kit too that I actually have over there. I didn't bring over here. But I'm talking like if you're getting ready to just put gears in, if you're going to drop your axle to do maintenance on it and change your gears, which a lot of people don't, but let's just say you're going to, it's for shits and giggles, you're going to do a full 8.8 rebuild, right? Like I'm going to do a gear swap. I'm going to do a diff swap. I'm going to go to 31 spline, whatever. This mod right here, bracing up your axles and, you know, welding up your tubes is like, dude, I did it. Shit, I did it, man. Come on. Like, you got to do it. It's just overlooked. If you were to weld your tubes and put a good brace on it, I mean, you're good to 800. 800 wheel, maybe 1,000. I don't know. I mean, I would brace the front, maybe consider, you know, I mean, there's 9-inch. You can go to a 9-inch, which is pretty easy to use, but we haven't got that far yet. 9-inch is definitely a really, really strong axle. That's why it's used like for everything. But I mean, 8/8 are my thing, man. I mean, I can make an 8/8 strong, and we're a stick shift car. You know, our goal is to stay at 1,000, go to 1,000, and just be it. Just enjoy the car. Let me back up here. Yes. So we're getting into that, pimp. Give me a second. So I'm going to say axle brace, axle weld up. Number two. I don't know if I put control arms in there just yet because a lot of people change control arms pretty often. You know, they do lowering springs. If you're going to do lowering springs, control arms, maybe a gear swap, you need to pull the damn axle out and get it welded. Trust me. There's another thing as well. If you're going to do, okay, I'm going to add this. We're going to stay at the axle. We just did a video. You're going to do, even if it's 300 wheel, all the way up to 800 wheel. Okay, at that point, anything past 750, I'm going to say 750, coyote, swap, turbo, whatever, you go into some 9-inch ends. But what I did, showed the video, is years ago, I bought Moser axle, right? But I also bought the strange C-clip eliminator. So, you know, people are often mistaken. Oh, if I buy C-clip eliminators, I got to buy a new axle. That's not the case. These are C-clip axles. You can chop this off if you're not going to use it again. But you can use C-clip axle with C-clip eliminator. So you don't have to buy new axles. Say you bought 31 spline axles already and you want to put C-clip eliminators in. Holy shit. Is that bent? I don't think so. I got to get my splines checked, but they look okay. I didn't even look at them. C-clip eliminate. That's been C-clip eliminators, they just get pressed on. They come with a little bit. They come with some directions. They're not hard. And if you've already got the 31 spline axles, just you just put the C-clip in. Like you just put it right back in its same place that it was when you had it in there before. And it bolts in. The nice thing is it bolts in right there where your, you know, it's right there where your backing plate is if you're still rear drum or whatever. But rear control arms are vital. No more slingshotting. That's correct. What's up, Jimmer? Good to see you, brother. Mia, what is your go brand for rings? Total Seal. Got a 350. I got a roller 351 waiting in the machine shop. I heard Brutal preach total. That's exactly what I just said. Total Seal. Total Seal is a good brand. I mean, I've used shit. I got what do I got? What do I got in the 387? Ah, shit, I don't even know. I think I just got sealed power in the 387. Dude, I put that 387 together literally with like 300 bucks. I think you now. Here's the thing: I have not done a C clip eliminator on a rear disc, so I don't know if you even need to. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can. I've never. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know that question. I have a set of strange 31 spline four lug thug axles for sale. If anyone, nice. Yeah, guys, hit that like. I appreciate you guys. What's up, 650 in the house? Good to see you, brother. Messing around with that coupe, I see. Will you go 9-inch in your white car? No. Stick shift cars are a lot harder on parts. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. They're just they're definitely have a different hit on auto, but in the sense, it's still kind of the same thing. But you don't see a lot of stick shift cars like you don't see a lot of stick shift cars like over 1500 or that's kind of where the peak is. So, I know they're out there, but I'm talking about like True Street, you know, clutch, not clutchless, but clutch assisted, fiction cars. If you make 1,000, then that's good. It's very, very good. That's correct. 31 spline C clip axles here, 560, 570. See, I knew. Damn it. I knew you went faster than 16s that you told me. I know better. I know better than that, Gabe. So give me another balancer, zero balance, rotating assembly, load up your axle, brace it up. If you're in there doing a gear swap, I think that one of the mods that we guys got. What do you want? Balancer. What else we got? So on the resto side, pushing. I mean, I guess we can just it all be one list of shit. But yeah, we'll get to that one too, Brett. That's a good one too. So bushings. Now bushings literally are in the front and the rear. A lot of guys at this point do a stock axe, excuse me, a stock K member. I guarantee you, your control arm bushings are shot in your car. If your car is kind of, it doesn't. I don't know if you guys, but it doesn't feel tight. Doesn't feel very controllable. If it's kind of like all over the road and shit, you might want to check your bushings, and that includes the control arm. So, a lot of you want to put all this money and time, effort, horsepower into the front half of the motor, transmission, in changing the gears. But there's so many things that are involved in each of these mods, and some of them get overlooked. Bushings, like we've beat the shit out of polyurethane bushings and control arms. I could probably guarantee you in a stock Mustang that your bushings are shot there too in your control. So bushings are often overlooked. They're a pain in the ass to press out. They're a pain in the ass to get out of the car. Like the big M8 or excuse me M12 or 14 or whatever the hell bolt that is in the control arm, literally is seized into the control arm. But you can get them out. But at that point, it's almost better just to go with an aftermarket. Team Z's. I think Team Z's K member's like 20 pounds. It's super light. And but at that point, you're looking at coilovers and all this other stuff. So I don't know. It depends on what kind of money you want to make. Or yeah, torque boxes. Yep, torque boxes. Guys, torque boxes are key, and I'm going to tell you, when you do the torque boxes, weld all the seams if you can. Okay, like they will pull away even if they're welded and bolted in. So we're having a little bit of a torque box issue right now with our white car. It's been at 1,000 wheel torque for a number of years. Stock torque boxes will eventually compete, even if they're actually reinforced, and you're going to start getting. The nice thing about the coupe, and the reason why I want to put all my good parts in the coupe, and we talked about that like last week or the week before, is because it's got upper lower control arms from Team Z, like the actual boxes that are adjustable. So at that point, we can kind of send it. We can do a lot of good shit with that stuff. We can change bar angles. We can put the car on a radial and it probably do well. There's a lot of things I can do with the coupe that I can't do with the white car. And I'm never going to stop racing the white car. It's going to be more of a street strip, true street, maybe no prep style stick shift car. But at least I'll have all my parts in the car that's safe that I can adjust. But trunk box reinforcements for even if your car, dude, even if your car is 250, 300 wheel and you haven't done a whole lot of mods to them, even if you just bolt them the hell in, you don't got a welder. Like they're really simple pieces. You drill some holes, you put the bolts in them, and some of the control arm bolts come through these braces. It's definitely worth it. Eventually, even if you put them in now and you don't get to the welding part just yet, at least they got some sort of structure on them. So the audio in and out. You guys good? Can you guys hear me? Hmm. Let's see if I can pick it up. All weird on the audio. So give me a second. Default speaker. Mic should be the. Can you guys hear me better? I know what you're. We good? Maybe it's still breaking up. Hmm. At certain angles. Okay. Give me a second. Let me try to figure it out. Let me just unplug it. I have the original Ford 355s in here. These tubes are only like pressed in. We good? 860 Fox, man. I appreciate the $20 super chat. What's up, Dan? And everyone audio keeps going in and out. I got you, brother. There we go. To be welded. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We good? Technical difficulties. Yeah. So where were we at? What were we talking about? Torque boxes. So, anyways, the torque boxes, yeah, I understand that, not everybody has a welder and shit or has that welding friend that can do welding for them. Just get them in the car. That's probably one of the major suspension driveline / handling things that you're going to want to deal with. often overlooked. Such a problem. So another thing going with resto. So as far as engine's concerned, balancer, axles, welding the axle up, drive shaft loop. Like, I'm going to be honest as well. I didn't actually put a Stifler's drive shaft loop on until like literally last year, like a dumbass. A drive shaft loop you'll literally flip your car over if you lose a U-joint in the front. And Stifler's actually has a really good drive shaft loop. And the old days, you would have to weld that shit. You remember that? You'd have to bolt the damn thing to the floor, and they're still out there. I mean, there's, you can use whatever one you want. But I like the Stifler's one the most. It's a little bit on the heavy side. I think it's 7 or 8 pounds. It's definitely not light, but super easy to install. And I want to make sure, it's worth the money. I've got the drive shaft loop on all 3 of my cars. It mounts to the back of the car. And it's definitely, it mounts between the transmission and the mount. And there's little spacers you're supposed to put in too. I don't know. I mean, that might just be for the mount or whatever. Pretty much everything Stifler's. You're correct. Cross member, you can get away with the stock one. It's fine, but consider the fact the stock one sits on rubber. So if you're going to do the loop, get a hold of Tom, Clark, and Brian. Let them know I sent you. You might even, you might get some stickers or some shit, but, drive shaft loop and the cross member 150% are 2 things that a lot of people, they put a transmission in, they'll put like a TKO or a TKX. You got to get one anyways if you put a T56 in, but a TKO, TKX, and a T5 can all share the same cross member. If you got a T5 that originally came in the car, if you have an AOD one, I think the AOD, there's just little spot welds on a factory one that you can just, cut and make it slide back and forth or whatever. But it's if you get a drive shaft loop, 100% DS loop. They're not that expensive. Crossman. We always got this money to go faster, but we never have the money to do some damn mods to our car that reinforce the power that we're putting to the ground. I also want to make mention, if you're going to do the drive shaft loop in the cross member, and I know this is kind of crazy, and you probably haven't heard much of it, weld your transmission mount up. If you could gusset it to the floor, there's not a lot of spot welds on you guys know what I'm talking about? It's where the damn cross member comes up and you put that long ass bolt through. That like the M10 or whatever, M8. There's like spot welds. It's just like torque boxes, guys. It's just like torque boxes. So what I did is I actually welded that up to the floor. You see what I mean? So it'll flex. I'm telling you, it's just like torque boxes. I mean, the flex in the mount. Never run a solid transmission mount. Ever. Don't do it. Like, I think people, I don't care what people want to argue with me about. I think that, the solid transmission mount, solid mounts on the motor, good, fine. That's the way you want to run your car. Not a big deal. Polyurethanes aren't very good with torque. So, motor plates and motor mounts, solid ones are good, but always run a good transmission mount, a good, nice, strong polyurethane rubber mount, 100%. So, yeah, let me catch up a little bit. Nah, man, listen, a loop can come loose on a burnout. A loop can, or a drive shaft U-joint come loose, on a burnout. It can come loose on a donut, on a Brody, on a whatever you want to call that shit. Like, I've seen them come loose in stock cars, and literally the car jump up in the air and come down and just slam on the ground. And it's like, holy shit, what happened? And it's just like, I blew my drive shaft out. So what's up, Fat Boy Fox? Good to see you. Are you running a solid trans? Absolutely not. Yep. I had best of luck with rubber. You got to have a little bit of flex in your drive line. Like, it's got to be a little bit. You know what I mean? Unless you're a chassis car. I mean, I understand the 2000 horsepower. That's a whole nother realm. I'm going to tell you guys here on the channel on live stream and talk foxbody shit with foxbody friends on stuff that I've experienced. And the highest level I've been up to is pretty much around 1000 horsepower. I'm not a subject matter expert past that, but there's a lot of people that can relate to all that. The 95 or 8% of my channels under that are around there. Specifically probably about half that. I just did about 8 hours of 03 Mach 1, try and get it off the jack stands. Man, get that shit done. Good work. I drilled holes and ran bolts from my motor mounts. Solid trans mount polyurethane mounts. Put a motor plate in it. That's correct. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Drive shaft loop, welded axle, balanced motor. Often a mod that we often overlook, that we hate spending money on. I would say ignition. That's a good one. I'm not going to say injectors. I got the best one for you. Your tune. When you're modifying a Mustang, you're modifying a damn car, especially fuel injected. Hell, even if it's carbureted, you got to tune that shit in. And one of the worst things I've seen over the last 20 years, 25 years, is folks try to just up the fuel pressure and lock the timing. And that shit works. It does. I mean, we did it with the FMU. It's fine. But especially, when you get into the Holley Terminator X, you can do a little bit. You can learn a lot by yourself. I've learned a lot from Holley. I mean, we're already getting into the advanced table stuff now. I'm not a subject matter expert at all in that. But pay somebody, for the love of G's, pay somebody to tune your car. Like, you spend all these thousands of dollars and shit on cylinder heads and intakes and camshafts and computers and chips. And, I got the TKX and I did all what Neo said with the axle, blah, blah, blah. And we get kind of towards the point to where we're ready to start driving our car and getting our shit off the jack stands. And the car runs like ass because it's just, there's a lot of things a tuner can do for you. And it can point out like, hey, your timing's off, your TPS isn't right. Whatever. I mean, you're running on 7 cylinders. Your AFR is wrong. There's so many things in the tune that's just technical that can it's literally the glue that puts all the parts together. And I've seen it so many times over the years. And this is the same for carburetor, especially for blow through stuff. There's a handful of people out there with blow through carburetors that are doing exceptionally well with them. And there's power valves involved. There's jets involved there. Pay somebody to do your tune, whether it's carburetor or EFI. I don't give a damn. Like it's okay. It's okay not to know everything about your car. I don't know everything about my car. Every time I go to the dyno, I put my proxy in my best interest in what Dave does because he helped me build the motors. He built most of them. At this point, he knows what they're capable of. He teaches me what he does now with Holley, and I know a lot about Holley thanks to him and Anderson Ford Motorsports. Donnie helped me out quite a bit. But the point I'm trying to make is nobody wants to spend $1,000 on a tune or whatever, or $500 or $750. Shit, I don't know. I don't even know what $650 even charges out there in West Coast, but he can give me a good general idea. About $1,000. Just buy it, spend the money on it, tune that shit in. And then kind of maybe learn what they're doing or maybe see what they're doing and pay attention. That way, if something goes wrong with it, you can at least try to fix it. What's up, Miguel? It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you, bro. Pay the money for a good tune and then learn how to build off the tune. Yep, 150%. I'm telling y'all. I'm here to try to help. I'm not trying to promote. You don't have to come to my tune shop. We don't remote tune anyway. So, unless you brought your car here to Ohio, over here at TI Dyno, or hell, there's some really good, there's some other good dynos here in Northeast Ohio. We got Big 3 down the road. We got Backstreet. We got some good people in Northeast Ohio. So if you're close to Northeast Ohio, there's some good people. And you guys can shout out people in chat all you want. I think Lydio up in Michigan's a really, really good tuner. I think Donnie Walsh over at D&D, I think he does some tuning. There's some good shit, guys. Get your car tuned. I'm telling you. Love it. Love talking some Fox body shit, baby. Waiting Terminator X 5 weeks for my tune. Can't wait. Well worth it. You got to preach that. What? The tune part? Troy. God, I'm telling you, man. People, I'm telling you, there's so many things I can put on this list, but I'm going to try to keep it down a little bit, not to get too crazy. Yeah, 650 is, I was talking about 650 Motorsports out there on West Coast, but he can chime in a little bit. But he does a lot of tuning with Terminator. So you guys in the West Coast, in Cali, I think San Francisco Bay, I think that's where he's at. But I think he does some tuning. I'm not sure. I don't know if I think you actively still tune. I don't know much about tuning. Can you have your car tuned with a stock computer without a chip? No. So here's your options. When you're building your Fox body Mustang, or you got these visions of grandeur that where you want to build this monstrosity, or shit, you just want to build a weekend warrior. Guys, there's nothing wrong with that. I have so much fun with my 387. I'm not even telling y'all. So talk to me. Come on. 400 wheel with loud ass 3-inch exhaust. They hear me coming from a mile away. But I'm not going to get into that. To each their own. Whether it's Holley Terminator X or if it's a stock A90, you got to get it tuned. If you're going to do a stock computer, we've done really well with the stock computer over the years, but consider the fact that stock computers are starting to go bad as it's a time thing. I'm not saying don't buy an A9L or an A9P replacement. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you that just the car's getting old. It's like 40 years old. And computers and capacitors, and just like old radios, they just start to go bad. I'll probably go Holley Terminator X eventually in my black car, but I'm going to ride that A9L out until that thing's a pile of dust. I get that. But in order to tune an A9L, A9P, you're going to have to find somebody that will chip tune like an SCT 4-bank eliminator chip and plug it into your car. The one downside to doing that is you're pretty stuck on most of the mods that you have on that car. There are some adjustments that it'll make, for sure. You could change the intake. You can change probably a camshaft. And even some cylinder heads, and your tune probably won't be terribly off. The nice thing about Holley is it has a whole learning factor where you can, easily learn the table on a mod that's changed. I'm not trying to steer you towards anything. It's just buy a damn tune. It's $650, $700, $800, whatever, $1,000. Go buy it. Carburetors too. If I started doing carburetor content here on the channel, I would 150% go to the next person or shout the guy out that's on the phone with me trying to teach me how to do this carburetor, because they're the subject matter experts in it. So yes, the dyno tune. Yes. Bob Morrison on 3. Yep. On 3 is a good one. That's down there in Columbus. Let me try to catch up here. Drive shaft's a good one, man. Drive shaft's a good one. So what if you have an 87, you're pretty much stuck with what you got. Speed density, we've done some turbo stuff with speed density. The nice thing about speed density is you can still make 6 or 7 pounds of boost on an FMU. Like Donnie at Anderson Ford Motorsports sent us an FMU, and we tricked 19s into thinking they're 24s, and we sprayed the shit out of them. So we ended up making, like, what was it, 350? We made about 350 wheel and about 7 pounds of boost on a turbo kit that we made on the channel. So we did that with Dad's car. So you still can do stuff with speed density, but you're going to be limited. So, you know that you can only make so much boost, and you can only trick your, you trick your system into so much. It'll have idle quality issues, sort of. It won't want to run right. It'll smell rich sometimes. Just trust me. Big 3 also holds Holley classes. That's correct. Every so often. I know that Rick over at Big 3 does like a $200 buy-in, and he'll teach you Holly all day long, and it's supposed to be a pretty good class. I mean, it's very informative for somebody who's just getting into Holly, and it's, Holly. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think HP Holly and Dominator are similar software. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for that, but it looked the same shit. $500 is a base tune, street tune. If we go to the dyno extra few hours, yeah, so it's about 800 down there. I can build you a 500 square foot commercial building, but I can't tune a damn car. To each their own. Let me tell you what, that's what I'm talking about. So you go build, check it out, Jim. You go build a couple buildings and you just pay me to tune the car. I'll pay you to do the building and you just gave me back the money for the car. Yeah, I was going to say 500 square foot's like a damn room, but I knew what you're saying. Best place to get a chip tune, picked up an A9L for 50 and it looks mint. So definitely probably want to consider getting the capacitors replaced. If you got a good computer, so let me go back to the stock computer and I'll stop talking about it. If you got a stock A9L, A9P, which most of you probably do, the capacitors are on a time sync, or not even a time sync, but they're going to go. They're going to go and they're going to be gone. It's the type of thing that, the cars are getting old and those capacitors are leaking. Like I said, compare a old A9L, A9P to like an old radio. Eventually the old radio will quit because eventually they'll just leak and they'll end up falling apart, blowing a trace, getting a power surge. There's all kind of dumb shit that can happen to a stock computer, and it can happen to a Holly. It can happen to a carburetor. Shit, there's things that can happen to all of them. But the point I'm trying to make is if you're gonna chip tune a car, which there's a lot of tuners that still do. I mean, that I know of. It's not really something that we're kind of steering towards anymore. But we still do a couple chip tunes here in Ohio. I'm not really sure that. I can't speak for the other dynos. I guess you would just have to get a hold of them and ask. So, Jesse, appreciate the $20 super chat. I'm building my foxbody with a Typhoon intake, 24-pound injectors, 69302 block. It's got a lot of nickel in it. Just so you guys know, their older ones do. Heads that I'll port and polish and weld up open like crazy. I also have a 75 mass air, 75 throttle body, and a 2.5-inch exhaust. Nice. That's a really nice piece right there, Jesse. That's a normal build. Like, this is the type of stuff that I like to talk about because, like, the Typhoon intake, 24-pound injectors. To be honest with you, you don't really need 24s. 19s are good. 19s will max out at around 340, depending on what you're doing to them. If you have good fuel to them and you're regulating the fuel, if you're getting enough fuel volume to a 19, it'll make 340 wheel. 325. It's just, I mean, unless you think you're gonna make past that, there's really no reason to put a 24 in. I'm going to be honest with you. I like to skip. I can go from 19s right to either 42s, because in a dyno tune, even in Holly, you can actually peel that injector duty back. You see what I mean? You can just take fuel out. Does that make any sense? So should I get a dyno tuned? Yeah. I mean, we did an old video, Jesse, a long time ago, where we went from 19s to 24s and it really didn't do much. I'm going to be honest with you. That sort of, if you're going to port them and polish them, I definitely would touch up a tune. You could gain a little bit of drivability, actually a lot of drivability, startup, and even, horsepower. You might gain a little bit of horsepower being able to kind of lean the tune out where it's supposed to tune. It just kind of depends on what you do with the math. So, Holly Dominator on my car. I love it. I don't think I'll ever change. So much support in YouTube that alone education. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of advantages. If you guys don't want to get into so much tuning, I know that we ended up getting a MF Customs Gen 2 Holly Terminator X. We actually got another one for the coupe. I really, really like the Holly Gen 2, just my own personal. I don't like cutting wires. I don't like cutting my old harness. I think what Dan over at MF Customs does with Donnie B at Anderson Ford Motorsport is they change like the coolant temp sense and the map sensor. They change a bunch of plugs to make it more of a compatible 937F, which is the Holley number 550937F. It's actually the Anderson number now. They convert the harness to make it a little more compatible for the Fox body, which is a little more plug and play. They changed the IAC. They actually use one of the inputs for the IAC. So they fixed the whole IAC issue that's been a bitch for so many years on the Fox body. So they just changed the plugs. It's worth $150 in my opinion. Yeah, Jesse, anytime you need help, let me know. Like I said, you should be able to get a startup tune for that pretty easily. You just got to find a guy somebody that'll actually tune. And they could probably send you a chip and a dyno tune to at least get the car started. There's some good reputable people out there that'll help you out with that. Would the 387 be okay on the street with a dual exhaust? Hell yeah. I'm gonna tell you what, 3 inches where it's at, Kyle. I'm telling you. Did you get your bearing issue fixed? What's up, James Williams? It's good to see you, bro. Long time. Just so you know, I'm keeping my 3rd gen Camaro stick shift. That's what I'm talking about. I was just talking about that shit earlier. Vance, with this guy right here, Vance Cooper. Look, he got a CTS. You see it? He got a stick shift caddy, bro. And I'm just like, you don't really see a whole lot of. There's a couple GMs here that are fast as hell up here in North. What's his name? Chris Markham's got a really nasty turbocharged LS swapped Camaro. I think it's I don't know what the Catfish Camaro is. What's that? It's like 90, like 01. Is that right? 2001. Is that when they stopped making them? But it's a nasty car. Our 42-pound injectors, 77 Pro M MAF overkill for yes. An HCI 302, run 19-pound injectors until you're out of fuel. Put your stock MAF on it. Run your 19s because the computer's good for it. It doesn't need a chip. You can lean it out a little bit. It'll be fine. I mean, heads cam intake. You know, you don't really need to. I mean, especially if it's a mild build. If it's a mild HCI, like, you know, say B cam, F cam, stage 1 trick flow, like entry level, maybe entry level trick flow heads, like 170s, 190s, even the AFR 185s. I mean, you guys can run your 19-pound injectors in your stock MAF until you can upgrade them and get a tune. It'll run and it'll run nasty. I'm telling you. Said what I said. The 87 is going to run a 331 Explorer intake N51R. Okay, HR. That's a pretty decent cam for that. But consider the fact that an 87 is a speed density, so you got to be careful. Where can I get a schematic for the A9L or suggest someone who rebuilds them? ECU Exchange. The nice thing about, Maddie down there at Fox Resto also does a really nice job. He's got one of the only Rotunda machines that I know of. I own the Rotunda machine, brand new in a box, and it's so damn complicated, I don't even know what I'm looking at, bro. So the mad scientist got it up on the shelf, but a Rotunda machine is basically a Holley data logger. That's the best way I could say it. It's like a data logger of the actual stock computer. Like, it goes in between your computer and the harness, and it logs the whole damn system, and it tells you if things are working or not. So I know Matt does a really good job with the ECU Exchange stuff down there at Fox Resto down in Concord, North Carolina. So if I had to send anybody anywhere, that's where I probably would send them. I trust what Matt does. Matt's forgot more stuff about Fox bodies than most people know in the last week. So good guy to work with. He's very fair. What's up, Ford Matt? It's good to see you, brother. Coming in late. The 387 is back running. Hang on one second. The 387 is back running. However, I'm swapping the heads to my 393 and putting bigger chamber heads on the 387 for lower compression. So that's one of the issues with the 387 is unless you're running, pump gas E, which it loves E85. Unless you actually have a fuel system, it ain't gonna work. I mean, pump gas it's just too much compression. Bill Rollins, man, I appreciate you joining the membership. Check out that join button below, guys. Become the member of the channel. All the guys in green with the little icons are all members of the channel, and they're pretty active, and I appreciate what they do for us. I've done 24-pound injectors, CNS, MAF, and NNL with a Thunderbird T5 swap. That car moved out. Too bad the owner wrecked it. Damn. What's up, Adam Cartwright? Good to see you. So moving on, give me another one. So balancer, we talked about the balancer. Zero balance on your motor, often overlooked. Welding up your axle, bracing your axle, often overlooked. You know, shit, drive shaft loop and cross member. Ain't nobody got no time for that, right? Including myself, but it should happen. Like when you go to order a transmission package, like from Handler Motorsports or Silver Sport or whoever the hell you buy from, get yourself a drive shaft loop for safety and a new cross member and weld up your damn, your mounts. People do not understand. I found mine ripping out. Like before I even looked, I was just like, what the hell is this? And I looked up and like it literally was tearing from the floor pan. I'm like, damn. So I had to like grind it all down and gusset it and weld it. I just went through it and made it a little little project on the white car, but it seems to have helped out. I can't wait to build my 387. Yeah, man, I appreciate you on Facebook. We do a lot of stuff on Facebook as well. I do a lot of. It's a lot easier on Facebook to get members and subscribers and people that follow like engaged with the channel than it is. Like I wish that YouTube had its own. I mean, it's got the blog where you can talk and chat, whatever. But I would rather just chat with all my members, and that's all I do. I just put pictures up and we talk in the members chat. It's kind of like a Facebook subscription. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm subscribed through Facebook. You're going to see everything I post. It's the same thing with members. If I post out on the open blog, then it might get lost. Whatever. Shocks, struts, and so I was going to put shocks and struts. That's actually a really good one. I mean, when I say weld up the axle and brace it, usually that's when people are doing an axle. And I talked about C-clip. I'll put C-clip there. If you plan on making more than 750, 800, like realistically, then you need to put 9-inch ends on your 8.8 or go to a 9-inch. Bracing it up is fine. C-clip eliminators are fine, but literally 750, 800 is about the ceiling for those I would go. So often overlooked brakes. Tell me I'm wrong. Freaking brakes. I don't even know why I didn't lead with this one. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Brakes. Now, how many of y'all has done brake upgrade? Like, there's still not brake upgrade on my black car. I still got stock calipers with drilled and slotted rotors on the front of my damn car. Been 950s, 970s. We held the TKX record for probably almost 2 years at 972 at 147. We turned it up pretty good. That's when the 363 was in the black car. Smoking. Try stopping that shit with foxbody cars or foxbody brakes. I'm telling you. We make all this damn horsepower. I've done all this. I'm telling you, I am the number one guilty person in foxbody community for that shit right there. For not spending money on brakes on the black car. The white car got good brakes. Dude, it's got 9-inch brakes in the back. We're about to put Stranges in this week on it. We got Stranges in the front. We got a parachute. We'll stop that damn car. But a black car, we stupid. I ain't gonna lie. Don't be me. Let me tell you what. Probably the best brakes you can buy. If you want to do the Strange and the TBM, Willwood's always a good brake. Bear brakes. There's a lot of really good brakes out there. But there's one specific one that's super budget. I'm going to go over here and show you. I'm going to bust it out real quick because I busted it out. It's been about a year since I've showed you guys this. And don't be me. Brakes is very, very, very overlooked. Let me show you. Probably one of the best things we could do to this car. I still haven't done it. The damn box here. Hang on. So you get yourself a set of SN95 spindles, okay? And you go on Amazon and you buy yourself a damn Cadillac brake. It's made by Brembo. There's probably, what's the name of that damn channel? Gosh bless it. There's a channel that did this. We're about to do it. We're about to do it on the black car too. But SN95, these are a four-piston Brembo brake, dude. It's for a Cadillac. These will fit on your Fox body with an SN95 spindle. This will be all the stopping power you'll pretty much ever need. I'm be honest with you. It's pretty lightweight. Now there's a company that makes the spacers to you buy yourself like an SN95 drill and slotted rotor. You find yourself a set of SN95 spindles I think you can use 96 to 04 too. But consider the fact that I think the 96 to 04 spindles, even though they're like half the price, I'm pretty sure those make your wheels stick out like a half an inch. Is that right? Somebody correct me. It's something about the spindles. It's not the bump steer, but I think it's the fact that the wheels will be wider in the front. But this is something that we really, really need to do on the black car and we've had them sitting in a damn box for like a year and a half. And this is one of the mods that I've always wanted to do. SN95 spindles, junkyard part. Brembo brake, I think these are like $120 a piece, bro. Come on. Adjustable proportioning valve, upgrade to at least an SN95 master cylinder. You're in it like $600, $700 and you upgrade to probably the best brakes you're ever going to see. End of story. But brakes are often overlooked, man. Come on. Talk to me. You could do a Cobra brake. You can do the SN95, the PBRs. I think the 96 and up had like an aluminum caliper on it. Upgrade your damn brakes. I am 100% guilty. 100%. I got rear drums in the back of my black car. Go 150. Stupid. But I mean, it stopped, but not smart. It's just not smart. Brakes are often overlooked and they're expensive, man. They're like struts and shocks. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. A set of good struts and shocks, coilovers, like $2K, $2,500, $1,500 on the low end. You could get Berserker Viking ones, which are really good street ones, and you can do a little strip racing with them. I think, that's still $2,000. And then you're looking at, you start upgrading your brakes. I mean, unless you do the Brembo, you're looking at another $3,000, $2,500. I'm just saying. Yeah, man, for sure. Brakes are uncommitted, for sure. TBM on my car working good on the street. We'll see how well. So one of the things that if you're going to get brakes, do the Brembo. Just save yourself the money, do the Brembo. If you're going to street drive the shit out of your car and you're not going to race it, you're not looking to do drag and drive stuff, just do the Brembo, whatever. There's a number of videos on YouTube. Stang Domination, is that right? I think that's the channel. Stang Domination. They did one cut several years ago. Pretty hot video. Pretty bare bones. They did a straight Cadillac. Yeah. So we need to do that mod. That's gonna. You know what? We're doing this muffler stuff. I think we're gonna do that brake mod soon. Okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and switch over to SN95 stuff. Anything for four lug? Not really. Four lug, I mean, outside of a good drill, if you're going to stick with four lug brakes, get a really good drilled and slotted rotor in the front. 80% of your stopping power on a Fox body Mustang comes from the front. Good pads, good rotors, they'll go far for you. You know what I mean? You're right. Change your 35-year-old brake fluid, 100%. The cheapest brake kit possible for what you get is best bang for buck. 1,000%. Guys, you can buy these Brembo Cadillac 4-piston aluminum calipers on Amazon for like $120 a piece. And it'll stop just as good, if not better, than most, if not all, the aftermarket. But, I mean, the rotor's heavy. It's, even though that's aluminum, it's a heavy setup. Like if you're racing like I do, I'm not going to put the extra 30 pounds on it for extra braking. I'll just pop the parachute. I've actually had no problem stopping at 160 in the white car, all brakes, but it does, you know, you will get some brake fade. Team Z manual brake conversion kits. Yep. Stock Mach 1 brakes and parachute for me. So if you start getting into like the new edge cars and like the SN95 cars, a lot of your guys' stock brakes are pretty decent. But like 93 and lower, like our brakes just suck. And you know, I've done really well with my original foxbody stuff, and I trust it, but that don't mean it's right. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Sting Domination. So I'm gonna make a shout out to them. You know, they made that video years ago. There is a company that makes the kit that makes the install. I don't remember the name of the company, but they have the spacers. You have to do a little bit of drilling on the spindle, but I think this kit comes with a kit that just pretty much bolts it on. Like if you get SN95 spindles, you get this kit. It's like $150 or $175. And then you buy the 2 calipers with, you know what I mean? There's a number of things that you still got to buy, but I mean, it's worth it. It's worth the shit. But I mean, that's my 5 right there. Like, I'm not even going to go any further right there with the 5. Nobody want to buy a damn balancer because it don't make you go faster. Everybody want to do some burnouts and shit and do donuts and stuff, but ain't nobody want to take the time to take the axle out and weld it up, including myself. I've done that. Obviously, I ruined my own axle. Drive shaft loop and cross member. Well, I had to buy cross members because we T56 swapped both of our cars, so that was inevitable. But you know, drive shaft loop wasn't but a thing, but about a year ago. You know, I'm always paying for tune, so I was never lacking in that department ever. But guys pay for a tune and brakes. My black car is the epitome of it. Stock brakes. You should see my bad. I mean, we're only going like buck 15 in the quarter mile on my dad's car. I think it's running like 1160s, and their brakes suck. They're terrible. I drive a big truck daily. It's all about knowing brakes. That's 3rd gen Camaro brakes suck ass. Yeah, same as IROC. Yep, 100%. I drove one of them for a long time. T56. Magnum F versus TKX. I think TKX will be a little easier. Yeah, guys, TKX, I'm going to tell you right now, TKX is probably one of the best transmissions I've ever shifted. I shift my TKX, and I know if Hanlon's still watching, I know he's being like, yeah, here it comes. I shift my TKX in my black car without a clutch. It's butter. I ditched my stock brakes for TBMs. They're pretty amazing, and they shed like 50 pounds per axle. Yes. So there is, you probably had this. You probably had this damn caliper on there, didn't you? This is probably the same exact caliper you had on your CTS, isn't it? I'm going to leave a Cadillac on there too. I don't give a damn. Yeah, I'm not. Aerospace has 4 lug. Okay, yeah. So I knew there was one of them that had it. When you balance the crank to run a zero balancer, are you running a zero? Yes, 100%. So when you zero balance, let me rename it for you. A zero balanced rotating assembly is also called internally balanced. So keep that in mind. Like there's externally and internally. Usually when you're talking about internally balanced motors, they're already zero. That's just another name to call them zero balance. So you would buy balancers, like a lot of the steel ones. Like I like the Trick Flow one. It actually comes with both of the weights, I think. But you can bolt the actual weight onto or take it off of the balancer. So, you know, if you're zero balance, then you don't have the weight there. And it's same thing with the McLeod billet steel rear flywheel. Like I think the Ram one, Hanlon, you can preach this one. I think that one's welded in. But I think McLeod has the removable weights on their flywheel. So if you bought a good Trick Flow, I'm just going to tell you what the shit I experienced. If you bought a good Trick Flow balancer, you can use that balancer over a number of your engine builds. If you go from a 302 to a 351, it doesn't matter if it's 0, 28, or 50 ounce. It's universal, and you can buy weights for them. And the same thing works with the McLeod, the steel billet flywheel if you're a stick shift car. They have the weights too. Same scenario. So that flywheel and that balancer can follow you. There's 2 mods right there that I've used, and they're my go-to mods for 1,000 under. They're my go-to mods because I know that whatever engine I build, I can use the same shit on. So, KK, man, I appreciate you joining the channel, brother. Joining the membership. Fox Body or Fox Brakes has 0304 brake for 4 lugs. Okay. All right, so we didn't really get into the resto part of it. You know, I hate to let y'all go. We had a pretty active little. You know, this is the type of live streams I like to do. I like to talk some Fox Body shit, and it's, you know, and this stuff is just, you know, you're just building a car. Like, you know, there's stuff on a G body, there's stuff on an IROC Camaro. It's similar. You know, there's, you know, axles. I've watched my, you know, I've raced and had an axle come out on me. It's not a nice thing to happen. You know, I've had cars. My dad's car is just sloppy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Dad's car drives like, I don't know, just drives terrible. Drives like it's on flats. And it's just like, I know that we got to get a K member in my dad's car, or at least go through the bushings. I know the axles and the reinforcements are done in the back, so we've helped that quite a bit, and it's not as sloppy as it used to be. The brakes are absolutely atrocious. You know, so there's some content, like, you know, there's some things that we forget to do all the time that have nothing to do with horsepower that cost tons of money. You know, somebody mentions struts and shocks, and that's on any car. You know, springs, struts, shocks, all kind of shit. I mean, stuff is going to cost you money, and you definitely don't want to like overlook it. Like, we talk about having all this horsepower, guys. Horsepower is not that difficult to make now. You know, 20 years ago, it was a little more difficult. The technology we have now, the fuels we have available, shit, you got pump gas E85. That's like, what is it? Like 105 octane. And it's like $3 a gallon. Like, and it burns cold. I mean, there's some bad sides to E85, but you know, they don't outweigh the good. You know, I mean, we've made really good power on E85. All of our tunes are on E85. We mess with the Ignite Red a little bit so we can turn the boost up because it's got a little bit better fuel it's mixed with. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is, you know, we build our cars. You know, we have this visions of grandeur. We have this idea of this way we want our cars to look. And I don't give a shit if you're spending $6,000 on RC comps or $6,000 on billet specialties or something. You build your car the way you want to build your car. There's a lot of things that are involved. There's so much money. You could spend $100,000 on a coupe Fox body Mustang and still not be done with it. You know, I'm going to mention my buddy, War Admiral Tom. The dude's got a lot of money in that car. I'm going to mention, you know, Beanach. You know, he's got, you know, Mario's got a lot of money in that car. And those cars are almost perfect. I mean, if not perfect, you know, just a lot of time. If you build your car the way you want to build your car, I didn't mean to say almost perfect. They are perfect. There's just differences to, like, they've done so many different really nice things to their car. Like, my cars are terrible. They're absolutely terrible compared. You know, we try to do our best with what we got, and you just try to do your best with what you got. And some people, that might be, you know, it might be just, you know, the paint, or there might be, you know, putting a diffuser on. I think Tom put a diffuser on. I've never seen that before. And, you know, I'm just mentioning their cars because they're icons in the Fox body community. If you don't know who they are, they're on Instagram. But yeah, Mario Panina and Tom. So Yeah, I mean, even guys like my man 650 here in the chat, his coupe is really really nice, and he's got a Cobra that's just as nice, if not nicer, or going to be. So we all build our cars the way we want to build our cars, and it's just you know sometimes we get caught up with like wanting to make all this horsepower, and it's just not. We forget some things need to be done to the car to make it like it's pretty much what we did with the coupe. I spent money and went after the sponsors for that car. Like, I got lucky. The Team Z say, hey, we'll sponsor your car. And I'm like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah, what do you need? And I'm like, well, the car's like half bent. It's been in an accident. It was decommissioned years ago because the damn cop ran it up somebody's tail end of their car. Shit, I don't know. It was bent, but I'm going to save it. So I saved it. But the torque boxes were, McBride Racing was like, this whole car's bent. And it's just, I'm going to build that coupe to do what I want to do with it. It's got a brand new paint job on it. It's going to be nice. It's just the way it is. You just build your car the way you want to build your car and, make it perfect in your own way. My black car's got a patina, black paint job on it. It's the original paint job. It sucks. I'm going to be honest with you. There's chips and nicks all through it. It's not good. We keep it clean. We keep that shit clean, but it's never going to be perfect. Not by a long shot. Same thing with my white car. It is what it is. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't forget some of the mods that are going to get you, make your car better, make your car safer. We can make horsepower. You're going to make horsepower. Like, there's not a rush for a mad rush. I mean, I'm not looking to make, there used to be this, I need to make 1,000 horsepower. Now 1,000 horsepower is the new 500 horsepower. It's like, really? I mean, it's super difficult to get a motor that high and then let it run actively for that long. So I enjoy my black car probably the most right now. It's at 400 wheel. I enjoy the shit out of that car. I'm out there running up and down the damn street with these 3-inch Mac mufflers that I pulled out of a damn ditch in the back of my, that shit sounds really good. And I really enjoy it. But yeah, you just enjoy your car. You spend the money where you can. Time, money, family. You gotta always be balancing that shit. You know what I mean? You gotta always. Today's Mother's Day. I probably shouldn't have been live streaming today, but I'm glad you guys joined me. I had some shit to talk with some of my friends here. I had this idea. I literally woke up with this live chat idea. I literally woke up and wrote it down. Top 5 mods that we always forget. Because the number one thing I thought about last night was I need to put damn brakes on my black car before I put it in a ditch. But yeah, I didn't mean to talk you guys here out there for a second. Yeah. We're going to be doing, we got some videos coming up this week. We're going to be racing this Saturday, most likely. We're going to be meeting up with Lamar with his engine. We're going to be doing a little bit of footage on that if he doesn't mind. We got a junkyard video that we had from the other week that we got to finish. So you do got another junkyard video with a couple mods, a couple things in there. You guys are going to be super surprised that you see. At least I think so. Yeah, we got some shorts. We're going to be doing a lot of pretty much. We're going to be doing a lot of things every day this week. I think we're going to be doing shorts. We got to get caught up on some watch time. It's tough. It's been tough to race, and there's no excuse. It's been tough to race and do film and run a business and try to be a good father to my kids. It's the whole thing I talk about with the balancing and the money and the time. Time's probably the worst of them all. But you just got to find time. You got to get your shit off the jack stands. I mean, I try to keep my black car running. I try to keep my white car running. We got some shit we're going to be doing to our white car. We're going to be putting our RC comps on this week, which I've owned the double B lock RC comps for literally a year and a half, and they're still sitting in a box. So I think it's time that we do a video on the rear strange brakes, and we check our axles, and yeah, we get that shit done. We actually make our white car match in the front and the rear. It is what it is. But anyways, if you guys want to make a special shout this weekend, got a couple new members. Jesse Workman, appreciate you becoming a member. Arc Rogue, KK's Garage, and my man Bill Rollins. Good to see you guys. Appreciate you guys joining the channel. Jesse Workman, I appreciate the $5 super chat, the $10 super chat, and the $20 super chat. And 860 Fox, I appreciate the $20 super chat. You guys, everything that we do here on the channel, stays in the channel. It goes to shit. I got a banner to give away. Damn it. My bad, guys. I've been sitting here talking ear off. Shit. All right. Hashtag Trump, make it happen. You know, again, we sent out all of our banners this past week. So hashtag Tremic if you haven't won one yet. Got about 13, 15 of these coming in the next week or so. So shop swag, baby. There it is. Beat them with a stick. Hashtag Tremic, and we will try to get this thing rolling. Sorry about that. I usually do the banners around 1 hour, but I'm all freaking behind here. I got to talking shit over here, and ended up skipping it. Shit, we've been on for 1 hour and 40 minutes. I haven't had a good live stream with you guys in a long time. I mean, sometimes I just want to come on live and just chill. You know what I mean? Just talk about foxbody stuff and what you're working on. Like next week we'll probably we'll talk about the race we have this weekend, and we'll talk some foxbody shit, and we'll catch up with what you guys need. Because when I do live streams like this, I love to do the informational stuff, but sometimes I don't get to some of the questions some people have. And, I'm always trying to help on the damn channel. So how I do the giveaway is I just scroll through, and I can't do a random.org live. Not really. But nonetheless, we do a banner pretty much every week. Now, if you won one, I appreciate if maybe you just, skip out of it. Would be kind of cool. Dan, or who's 10 not it? What's that mean? What ECU am I running? Tremic bought Borg Warner back in like 93. Come on, Dave. Ford Matt, man, I appreciate the $20 super sticker. Yeah. Ford Matt's Matt's been part of our. Why is that not sticking? There we go. Ford's been Matt's been part of our channel for a number of years. I appreciate you, man. Let me just go down here. If you guys got a question real quick, last minute, I'll help you out. 95. I was close. All right. We should do another live stream with old Hanlon. Going to do the first startup video of twin turbo 393. Ooh, shit. Lightning in a few days. I like it. Tag me in it if you put it on Instagram. I want to see that. I don't mind you guys tagging me on Instagram. If you start your cars up, doing burnout or whatever. Not really burnout. I mean, don't do anything dangerous. But like driving, fuck, I don't care. Poor guy Mike, I ain't seen you in a while. It's good to see you, bro. No, you're not supposed to spam it. It's fine. Just let me scroll through here so I can let you all go. Let me look away. Click, 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 click. Stupid. Matt Wright, there you go. Congratulations, buddy. You haven't won one. You haven't won one yet, right? Congratulations, Matt Wright. You won. Am I going to Norwalk? Yes. So I'm going to Pacemakers this Saturday for sure. I'm not sure if I'm racing yet, but I probably will. We're going to take a couple weeks off. I'm going to be at Carlisle, but I'm going to be there picking a bunch of shit up. So going to get a chance to see some people there, but we're not setting up. So if you're going to Carlisle, then say hello. We do have some merch for sale, or we're gonna be doing a fulfillment thing with F417 Fox whenever I get my lazy ass over to them. But we do have some t-shirts available and hats, of course. Same email that I'm putting here. Damn it. So Matt, send me your address. And if you guys want to check some merch out, hit me up on the email. T-shirts and hats. Anyways, if anybody's got anything else, ready to roll out. Like I said, we got a junkyard video this week. We're going to be doing the strange video. Oh, we got a video with the CO7s with the new tires that we just put on. Did a little bit of street stuff, a little street tuning. I think you guys will enjoy that. I think we're going to start working on, we want to do that mass air swap. I do want to do that GT40 mass air swap. I want to see if one of my old tunes will start my dad's car up mass air. So anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody for following. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, I got 4X's, baby. I got them. I appreciate that, pimp. It's what makes me want to do stuff like this, man. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear stuff like that. Anyways, if you haven't already, you just now following, hit that subscribe button. Check out that join button when you become a member of the channel. Outside of that, I appreciate you guys for watching me talking some Fox Body shit on a Sunday. I think these are probably some of the best things that we've talked about. There's mods that we're always overlooking, trying to just make more horsepower. But outside of that, guys, happy Mother's Day to those that this applies to. And, to the moms out there. And I just appreciate you guys watching me for an hour, 45 minutes, talk some shit. We'll see you guys this week, this videos. I'll see you next Sunday after we're done racing. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Have a good night.